Hi, welcome to another video episode about my fischertechnik TXT discovery controller and robot. Last time I replaced the controller battery to retain the date, and right now I'm going to check if it actually has retained the date. So I'm going back to the original interface, settings, date, and it says unfortunately again 2001. So that means that the battery is not as good as I thought, and I measured its voltage before replacing it, and it said 3 volts, which is nominal. So apparently the battery was in not such a good state after all. So year 2016, 12 months, and the date is, let's have that correct, 18 indeed. So I acknowledge it. Time has to be set, of course, as well. Going further is shorter in this case. So this sounds about right. Acknowledge. And then I press this button to get to the community kernel interface, and now it is actually ready to do whatever it's supposed to do. So that means that I have to still replace a new battery with proven stable voltage. Last time also I got quite a few tests on the interface with sound, light, this light to be precise. The propeller, which works nicely, and the sensors. Let me reposition the robot a bit. So the touch sensors work fine, and the sonar, which is below the camera, you can see it here, all work fine. What does not work fine completely is the synchronization of the motors, because tests last time showed that in most cases it does run a nice straight line when the program asks for it, but in some cases it clearly diverts, and then it just makes a short curve and then goes in a straight line, or it goes in a straight line and ends with a curve. Anyway, that has to be improved. So I'm going to check with some code to see whatever can be improved. I already did that last time, but apparently not enough. So with this date set and everything hopefully checked well, let's go have a check on the code again. Alright, so let's once again check on the code as far as the motor is concerned, or motors are concerned. motor rechts, motor right side. This is then motor left side. And here is something that I've overlooked a bit, I think. Because here I say set speed and twice, and here set distance. So what did I do in other occurrences? Let me have a look somewhere here. Here also stop between the sinks, and here set distance between the sinks. And here I haven't done that. So I may do this, and so now I have actually synced all the motor stuff. Although here I am actually syncing everything again. So I may remove this one and this one. And here it's data begin, data end. Here once again data begin, and here data end. So this one thing that I added may just be it. Not quite sure, of course. And the rest of the code has not been changed since last time, so that is all still the same. So yes, that there's no change there, except for this one. This hasn't been synced yet. So let me do that as well. Mind the indentation. Oops. Yeah, so with these two changes in the code, let's have some test. Write it and go for it. And it's already on the floor, so let's go to camera. So with two objects in front of it, or more or less, and a ruler to indicate, to show it is in a straight line, hopefully. Time to run a test. See if the latest code changes indeed do what it's supposed to do. And I'm afraid to tell it's not the case. has happened. This is a very clear ouch. Not sure what has happened, but this is not been the intention. That may be clear. And let me review what this has done. Taking a picture and measured the distance on 100. It did the lamp, it did crackling sound, and that's all. That's absolutely all it did. So, a reset up. I'll put the camera in a neutral position. Right here. So let's see what happens this time. There's some delay, but that has always been the case. Okay, why does it stop? It stops because of apparently a measured distance of 24, but it shows once again no sign of the code being larger than 10 or smaller than 10, larger than 5, whatever. So indeed, why does it stop? I run it once again from this point of location, see what happens. Okay. That's a different sound altogether. What happened? It says contact is 1. That much is clear. It should have turned to the right. Which is, by the way, a nice indication that I should check the code if it indeed turns to the right. Or should turn to the right. Because I realize I changed the code and I took off some turns and twists. But yeah, it plays the sound that it made contact, so that's okay, but a straight line, not really. Alright, let's go back to code and see if that turn is still somewhere there. So, if you can see, in Dutch it says alleen draai naar rechts, which means only turn to the right. So let's find that piece of code. And it's easier to do something like this. And then yes, there we are. Does it do it? Actually, yes, it does do it. it says the right side motor a distance for 200. And then I guess I should say if it turns to the right, maybe a negative distance to the left. Let's see if that works. So I'll copy this line, change this, oops, this is better, then changing plus 200 into minus, no, 200 positive, but the speed, I think I should set the speed to minus 215. So once again left, and then the speed to, oops, insert minus, and then, well, let's see, this has gone of course for left, but we'll see. We'll see about this. Was there any other occurrence of yes, there is. Alright, let me do exactly the same here. Because here I want to go to the right side, and here I want to go to the left side. So let's just do that. In this, without the right side motor or without left side motor, it pivots around the other side's motor. And when I put both left and right side motor into action, it pivots around the center. So that's a big difference. So let me put it like this. And then and because it has to turn to the left on this location, I put a minus here, and then say a copy and change this to left, and then I'm curious what will happen. Will there actually be a turn to the right and a turn to the left? Because so far it hasn't happened. Let's check. So, because I'm now going to test on a straight line and turn to the right or turn to the left, I'm very curious what will happen. I'll remove the ruler so it's not in its way when it actually does turn. So let's see what happens. let me see something. Alright, this was clearly a sonar action. Didn't think of that, but of course that also happens when it doesn't run an exact straight line. So let me relocate the objects. And try again. And that is unfortunate. It says only turn to the right, which it clearly doesn't do. So actually it should turn right and stop. At least in my thoughts. That is not really happening. So let's turn the thing around again. Oops. All right. Let's go. It should be outside the sonar now, but you never know what happens. Okay, never mind. Well, it is out. It's outside the sonar range. Although it says 24, but there's no larger than whatever distance. But the straight line is clearly a failure. Okay, let's do this again. Straight line so far. It stops right in front of the object. But why? Because it detects between 5 and 10 centimeters, which is clearly sonar. Alright, back to the code. So you can see here, this is definitely a sonar effect. And looking back, this was not a sonar effect. Previously, no sonar effect either. The turn before that, no sonar effect either, but a contact effect. Was there a contact here as well? No. No, just distance. Just distance. So, back to the code. It says here, stop. and then here it says with some speed, the right side minus, left side plus. Alright, that would be a turn to the right, or turn to the left anyway. Yeah, turn to the left, I would say. But it doesn't do it. It doesn't do a thing. Not upon touching, although this is clearly not touching, this is sonar. So if I go to what I can do, of course, is upon sonar drive backwards. Here it set speed to 64. Let me add to this go back. So I would say stop. Oh, this has no use, of course, because you set the speed and then you stop the motor. No, this is no use. But I also haven't set a clear distance. So let me add that as well. Set distance at let's again say 200. Same for left. And then stop. Set distance, set speed. Alright. No, let's make a differential. A difference. Let's make this 100. Motor stop and then set speed the other way. I think that would be a very nice idea. Set speed for, yeah. I don't think I have to use stop because it runs for 100. So set, I'll do it anyway. Yep. Left side. Then copy this one here. Set speed minus and left. And that is with 5, between 5 and 10. So let's see how that happens. Makes me curious. So, final test for today with a little change. in the code. Let's see what happens. Really? Very nice, but not intended. Alright, let's do it again. But from the other way. Alright. This should be a summer effect. Let's see if I find the summer effect. Not really. Not really. Okay, one more attempt. Okay, close together for a nice summer attempt. No sonar, but clear contact. Contact 1, distance is 3. So not the nice effect that I just coded. Anyway, I'll leave it for this. You've clearly noticed that the robot still does not always ride in a straight line. Unfortunately, I might ask if I missed something. The developer of the RoboPy developer. In the meantime, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you like my videos, please consider supporting anyway via my website. Also see my Twitter and Instagram. And this is to be continued.